Brian Kelly's such a dick, bro. Got to repeat that. Make sure that's start the pod out with that.
That's how we start the audio. Yes. I don't like that dude. He's so unlikable. That's an unlikable person.
I mean, I guess we already knew, or a lot of people knew about the CMU incident with LaFleur and Saleh, but that made the rounds again, and it just reminded me.
I didn't know.
A-hole he is.
I learned about that.
I can't remember if I knew about it and then just forgot about it, or learning it for the first time.
If his personality so well that it just sounds like something you should know already.
Yeah.
Like who he is as a person. It just
which I know being at like the facility at 7 a.m. too isn't that big of a sacrifice for them, because they're already up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. But for that little speech to last like 2.5 minutes too.
Right. and he no questioned it.
Yeah, he did.
He like no questions and left and then walked out. Like, what? Wait.
He left the questions with the AD.
yeah. All right, I'll see y'all. I'm gone.
Yeah.
That was so weird. I think he did Cincinnati a similar way, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I believe
they were like a team dinner, and he's like, before their bowl game or get ready for bowl season, he's like, yeah, so go into the name, guys.
Yeah.
Y'all later.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about the hire? I love the hire because I think it's a terrible hire for LSU.
Yeah, I don't see how this works.
No, me.
Brian Kelly doesn't have a SEC personality to me. He doesn't have he doesn't have a Southern personality to me. He has like a Midwestern, we say we want the people personality.
Yeah,
and you could try that at LSU. Like you can attempt that.
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna work, but I mean you can go for it.
I actually think it's a good hire on their part, because I think they're kind of aware that the program sells itself. So you really don't need Brian Kelly to come in and convince recruits. I mean, you're going to need that, but really you sell yourself when you're LSU and you have a hotbed of talent right around you in that state and on your borders. I think it's a great move for LSU because they need a CEO to come in and pretty much clean up some junk. I'm not saying like Brian Kelly's like not even like the best CEO you want to get to come and clean up your junk, because he's got his own junk too. But I like the hire from that perspective. It's the total opposite from Ed Orgeron, and I think that's exactly what they wanted.
It is that. I do think this continues that a theory that I posed to you earlier, that LSU should just change coaches every 3 to 5 years, because the trend is you get the coach. They always have the recruiting base. You get the coach, you get a new coach, get a new voice in there. You sneak a national championship. You're down for a few years, then you do it all over again. Les Miles got championship his first 3 years there. Then he got another one. Ed Orgeron got one his second year there, and we all thought he was future, but then he decided other things were more important.
Yeah.
And now you do it, Brian Kelly. Another coach. Still chasing that championship medal.
Yeah.
That first championship. So this is a good part of the cycle for them. So they just continue this 3 to 5 years, just getting new coach in. Yeah. You get a new voice, you might stick a championship. I think it's continues to trend for them. But I respect from the fact they made a splash with this one. Like, this was a very unexpected hire, so I see they're going for something. But it's also like, I'm with you. I just don't think he fits there. I don't think he fits personality wise there. I don't see it working. That his whole thing, his whole nothing's ever my fault thing, I don't think that works at LSU. I don't think they're going for that. I don't
know. I mean, LSU's got a lot of scandals going on right now, or a lot of investigations. So
I mean, specifically with the football program, though, like I don't see that. Oh yeah, nothing's my fault here. Everything's everyone else's fault on the field. I don't know. My players just suck. That's not. I don't think they're going for that.
That's not going to cut it with the alumni base. I mean, this is SEC football, and these donors and boosters are a whole lot different than your Notre Dame donors and boosters. They have a lot less patience. Right.
Especially when they know you don't have the restrictions that you had at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Recruiting wise, like you have what else do you need from us? What more do you need? They're not taking a 4-loss season well. They're not.
Yeah.
Nobody's taking that well. I don't see how this. I don't know. His head might explode. He's not good at bad. He's not good at bad times, and bad times are coming. Because LSU, I mean,
Yes.
the nature of that conference is you're gonna lose a game you shouldn't lose, and I don't know
Hmm.
how he deals with that. Maybe two, might lose two. You don't want to lose.
Hmm.
Like the first time he plays Auburn and some Auburn magic happens, his head might explode.
Hmm.
Like some Auburn nonsense just occurs. I don't know how he deals with that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think we're finally about to bring, or he's finally about to step onto a stage that's going to be too big for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think between the two major hires, right, the Brian Kelly and the Lincoln Riley, I feel like this has more volatility than Lincoln Riley does. But I think Lincoln Riley at USC can be a fine job. Like, he might not win a championship, but I think they'll be fine.
Yeah. Well,
Kelly at LSU seems like it can go. It's either going to be really good or really terrible.
I do not see Kelly winning a national championship at LSU, and that's more to do with how much stronger that conference is about to get than him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that competition is just going to be way too hard, and he's going to lose. I think Texas and Oklahoma. You know what? We didn't even consider that either. Yeah, not even considering that Texas and Oklahoma are now going to be their biggest competition, along with Arkansas, when it comes to that recruiting pipeline in that area.
Right. Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, he may actually be hindered more compared to LSU's coaches in the past.
Yeah, especially not being from the area, not familiar. That's the biggest thing for Orgeron. Orgeron's from there. Orgeron knows that area better than anybody. He's one of the best recruiters. And I think another thing that hurts Kelly is the fact that when comparing to Lincoln Riley again, Lincoln Riley and his whole staff was on the plane. Everybody he wanted, they was on the plane in Oklahoma gear heading to USC. Brian Kelly is going without his offense coordinator or defense coordinator. Tommy Rees stayed. Marcus Freeman stayed. Marcus Freeman now the Notre Dame head coach. It creates very weird conflict for me as someone who doesn't care for Notre Dame football. It creates a very strange situation for me. But I'm playing like a champion right now, just a little bit. Playing like a champ. but like I think when you make a big move like that, you need the guys who you trusted in your program with you. And he's gonna try and build that trust while learning a new environment. And I think that's a much bigger ask.
Yeah.
It's a much bigger ask that I think is that continuity helps a lot. And he's not gonna have that. So I see issues with that.
Yeah. Well, do you want to get into the Lincoln Riley thing?
Let's do it, man. So Lincoln Riley pulled the Aaron Rodgers. He was immunized.
Yes. Yeah. He got out ahead of the question. He said, "Let me stop you right there, buddy. I'm not going to LSU. No more questions." See, I didn't even know about that press conference. I just knew about that article, like I had said. All these LSU players and recruits that follow him on Twitter, and that's all I needed to know.
I need the real story to come out about what happened there.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was clear it's way too much smoke for there not to have been a small fire going on.
Yeah,
so I really want to know what went wrong.
And we know for pretty much a fact that he took meetings with LSU, so they were in consideration.
Yeah,
so you being the non-SEC guy, this could be my first hater question right here. Go ahead, tell me, Titus. Tell me why Lincoln Riley isn't actually scared of SEC smoke. Tell me why he went to USC for a different reason.
Because he got $110 million and they paid for his houses, allegedly. They gave him a PJ.
Yeah.
They gave him a PJ, dog.
They gave him a PJ.
Apparently, allegedly has a PJ, a private jet for family use whenever he wants.
Nice. Yeah,
so
he got all the amenities.
The deal is sweet. He has 2,000, and he had 2,000 in Norman, which I don't know why he had 2,000 in Norman, but all right. It's not a place where you need two houses. But I think he was trying to sell one, moving to the other. They bought both of them. You see, I will buy both of them. Allegedly, this is alleged contract deals. They bought both of them like over market. That's why the housing market's trash right now. There was on some Zillow behavior.
Dang.
But, they bought both of them like over market because he couldn't sell them now.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna buy those. It was done. I did find all the thing about coaches leaving that I found funny since. Let me see when my coach leaving fan innocence was taken. I want to say it was when Lane Kiffin left Tennessee, and they were like, and he had to get a Secret Service escort out of the state.
Yeah,
I think that's when I stopped feeling bad for fans. I'm like, y'all do a lot. Y'all do a whole lot. That's really when I think it might be when my anti-fan behavior started. This
Yeah,
might be it. Like it was
that's
triggered. It
fair.
was triggered by the Malice at the Palace, but I think that like was the next domino to fall, and
Yeah.
then the final domino was LeBron and Cleveland. Like those,
Mhm.
I think that's the domino order. And then by the time LeBron left Cleveland, I've just been done with fans ever since.
No.
I think that's where this or that's my origin story. That's my villain origin story. I think.
I yeah, I mean Tennessee fans, of course, like went over the line, I guess you could say. But I don't know, man. Like I remember how happy I was when I heard that Lane Kiffin was leaving Tennessee, because after we barely beat Lane Kiffin that year, his first year at Tennessee, I was like, holy crap, this guy's going to be a problem. So I was sweating Lane Kiffin, and you know me, I mean, I still sweat Lane Kiffin now, but yeah, I mean, I think he could have done. I think he could have been more successful if he stayed at
He should have stayed
Tennessee
at
than
Tennessee.
going to.
Yeah, I think he should. I think he should have too. I understood
Yeah.
him taking USC job because that's where he came from. It was his dream job, so I totally understood him taking that job.
Mhm.
Well, so I was like, hey man, he took his dream job. I'm not mad at you. Can get mad at him taking his dream job.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah,
But they were upset. They were highly upset. They weren't hearing me. They weren't hearing none of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could say they pretty much got the clean cut Lane Kiffin now. Same, the visor vibe, the offensive guru scheme vibe. I mean,
he played Florida really close that year too, when they had no business playing Florida close either, I think.
Oh yeah, dude. Like they took every team down to the wire, it seemed. I think they finished 6-6 that year, but I mean the point
it didn't feel like that.
Yeah, the point differential was crazy. But I mean, do you see any? I don't know, like how successful do you think Lincoln Riley can be? Because even though they pretty much had a dud in there at USC coaching for the past couple of years, which is Georgia Southern's new head coach now. I can't think of his name.
That's where Clay went. Good for Clay.
Yeah, Clay Helton. That's right.
Good for him.
But I mean, we've seen Sark, we've seen Kiffin, which I mean, Sark wasn't giving it his all, we could say, at USC. So
that's a fair way to put it. That's a fair way to put it.
I mean, something's been holding USC back since the Pete Carroll days. I mean, what is it?
They were chasing that old thing, man. Like everybody they hired came from the Pete Carroll tree. They're like, oh, we're gonna get the Pete Carroll thing back. Like, remember they kept hiring, they kept retreading that same order. That's why I like Lincoln Riley hired, because like, okay, let's go outside the box a little bit. See somebody who hasn't been in this program, hasn't been ingrained in this USC program nonsense. Like USC's always seemed super traditional in terms of how they want to play football. Even as the game changed, they just stayed with the same pro style, one back. Like it's like, yo, the game's moving away from that. Like, so I feel like this is them coming into the modern era of football and trying to make a splashy hire. I mean, Riley's obviously a great recruiter. He'll keep guys in state. Like they've been losing guys everywhere. Bryce Young is an example. They had some running backs from all those Matter Day guys are going out of state, which is just unacceptable.
Yeah. I mean, not just Bryce Young. We've been plucking guys like ever since. I mean, freaking Blake Bortles was not Blake Bortles. What did I think? That Blake dude who was a bust that ended up transferring to USF. Like he was kind of like our first big QB prospect that we plucked out of Cali, and we just keep plucking him ever since. Yeah.
Thibodeau, the defensive player for Oregon, is from California. Like he was number one recruit out of the state. USC's not supposed to lose those guys. They're just not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? USC is supposed to get all those guys. So I think Lincoln Riley can bring that back. So at the very least, their recruiting can get back to where it should be in state. And if you recruit in state and you got a modern offense, that's a problem immediately for USC. Like there's not much you're gonna be able to do with that because Cali's such a hotbed for college football talent. So I do feel like I like this hire a lot. I like this hire. I think it fits. I think Lincoln Riley gives me California personality vibes because he's like
big avocado toast guy. He's
for sure. He's like what? He's what, 38, something like that.
Yeah.
I do wonder how badly the alumni base there the booster base there wants it though. That's the real question. Because in Norman, Oklahoma,
able to shell out all that stuff.
Yeah, that's true. In Norman, Oklahoma, they want it, dog. Staff, everything. But also the money travels further in Norman, right? I was just to Lil Money and Spencer all talk about this yesterday. Like the money in Norman, Oklahoma travels further than it does in California. Like the assistant there might end up having to share a bedroom, like having to share have roommates, stuff like that, which is going to be a lot different than it was. But they also have a little more freedom because I mean, everybody in California isn't gonna care about USC, right? You can move around a little better.
Yeah.
In Norman, you move around, everybody's gonna know where you at, where you doing, what you're doing. So I think that helps. And with the NIL rules, you keep those guys in Cali. They build Cali connections. You can build Cali connections early if you want to act, do whatever. You know, they can get all kind of stuff out there. So I think it's a good hire. I like the hire because I like Lincoln. I like Lincoln Riley though. I think Lincoln Riley's a good coach.
I do too. I think it was a good hire. I think it was a good choice on Lincoln Riley's part. And I do agree with you. I think the bulk of the decision made was all the incentives that were given and the recruiting pipelines. But
I will say
the Homer guy, I think there is. I mean, I do want to say, I think a part of it is, I don't want to go into the SEC, like, because there was going to have to be some rebuilding there. He wasn't going to jump into the SEC with like a bunch of success. And I don't think he wants to rebuild again. And I think he's kind of pissed off that he doesn't have like a set QB. I don't know. I think the QB battle made him mad.
Oh yeah, that didn't help. That didn't help at all. But I will say that I think that there is an element of, look, there's like 33 coaches down in that conference. I don't feel like dealing with that every year. Like, I don't want to deal with that either. It's too much. Like, somebody in the SEC who's not a bad coach is going to look like a bad coach because it's too much. It's too many teams. You know, and you don't want to be that one. Look, I got NFL teams that are interested in me. I got every college team that wants it. I'll stay. I'll go over here. Try this thing over here. You know, and I don't blame it. Like, I do think it's an element of that. I don't think it's a necessarily scary thing, but I think it's a risk management, right? I think it's more risk management. Because the risk of going to the SEC and then suddenly you're not a good coach, is very high, and then that derails your entire career. You know, for years. Like, look at David Shaw. David Shaw was the NFL coaching prospect for years, and he kept staying at Stanford. And I was like, you just stay at Stanford, bro. It's cool.
Well, now everybody's like, I mean, I don't think David Shaw might have much long. Well, it depends on. I don't think Stanford really cares much about their football program, but
I feel like their program that knows who they are.
Yeah,
I feel like their program knows who they are. They appreciate the early success they had with Harbaugh, but you know, this is who we are. We're good.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to David Shaw though. I love that he stuck to it though. It's the same, just like you said, single back. We're gonna play pro style, and we're gonna try to run it down your throat.
Look, I feel like if you're a program with high academic standards, unless you have like a national TV deal like Notre Dame does, you just gotta have a gimmick. You just gotta have a gimmick and just stick to that. You know, you gotta have some type of gimmick and just this is what we're gonna be. We'll see how far we get with it. Might make a Rose Bowl or two, but you know what? This is who we are.
I like that. Yeah. Sounds like our pro team we're gonna have one day.
Exactly. This is what we do, better or worse. This is the best we got, man.
Yes. And we're gonna make waves with it.
You know, it did surprise me at James Franklin to stay at Penn State. I thought somebody was gonna try and snatch him up. I really did. But my man just holding it down. He's gonna find a way to. Does anyone lose more weird games than James Franklin? Or participate in more weird games than James Franklin? That man's like the king of weird games that don't make sense.
Yeah, I would say
and not having a quarterback ever.
I would say Scott Frost. Now you'd have to throw him in that mix.
Oh yeah.
How many?
Did Nebraska have like a 1 point? They had like a -1 point differential or something.
So in conference, I think in conference play, it's a -2 point differential, and then if you take out of conference and conference and combine them all together through the regular season, they have a +3 or something like that point differential, I believe. I may be wrong. So
that's a torturous season.
Yeah,
that's a real torturous season.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm not a bad coach. I know I'm not. Trust me.
Yeah, that's real Dan Campbell vibes over there.
It is Dan Campbell energy. You know, they gotta bite those kneecaps, man.
Exactly.
Keep biting kneecaps, man.
Just keep going at them.
That's right. So you want to get to these games a little bit, or do you have more? Do you have more coaching stuff to talk about? Florida hired a coach.
I was gonna say, whoa, man. So I don't know if he's older or younger, brother of LaGrange High School head coach, Matt Napier. His brother, Billy Napier, is now at Florida.
Wait, really?
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I told you, bro, that's all we need to, I'm going to cut this. We need to get more in with Edie so we can get Matt on the show, and then we can get Matt, and then we can get Billy.
That's a fact. No, you're right.
I said that to you like right before Edie came on our show last year.
I remember that now. Actually. Yeah. That's wild.
So we need to work our way back in there.
Right. Okay, so we back live. I don't know much about Nate, but I know they said the word program with the U.
Yes.
So he's got something.
Yeah.
He's got something there. He clearly understands his base, his market, and that goes a long way. It's good for Florida to get away from the Nick Saban tree because that hasn't worked out for them at all. Oh, is he on the Saban tree?
Yes.
Oh, well, never mind then. Okay, does he believe in recruiting during the season?
Yes.
Okay, well, you know what? He's better than Dan Mullen already. Goddamn beat.
Yeah.
That job. So I don't think this is off topic. I don't think Dan Mullen's a bad coach. I just think that job swallowed him. Like the magnitude of that job swallowed him.
Dan, if you're out there, buddy, if you're listening, please come be OC at Alabama for a couple of years, man. Kick Bill O'Brien out, please, for the love of God, and let's get Dan Mullen in there.
Billy O.B. is terrible.
Bro.
He's so bad. I don't understand it.
He just wants to throw it, man. He's just, and I think too, when he decides to run, it's like, okay, Saban's already been in his ear. He's already, heard it all through. And then so he's like, oh, you want to run it? We'll run it then. And he'll run it 3 times in a row for, 0 yards. But he's like, see, I'll show you. We'll run it. And then he gets nowhere. He's like, see what happens when you run it? It's like, no, Bill, you're just doing it wrong.
Now, Bill got me in Madden energy where it's like, I might run the ball in the first 2 plays. If I get negative yards, I might throw for 10 plays straight. I'm like, wait, I should run the ball again.
Yeah.
I have a good running back. Let me try running play again.
See, but the thing is,
video game energy.
Yeah, and it's not like this is the first time Nick is having to have this conversation with his OC. This began 2 OCs ago with Lane. But the thing was, we were very successful, though, in the passing with, at least Lane and Sark were drawing up schemes that work.
Yes. Lane had schemes where it was a touchdown before the ball was thrown. Lane knew Lane was like, yep, that's 6 points right there. Yeah. Before the ball was even in the air. You know what I'm saying?
I do want to slide this in, though, because I've had this thought throughout this whole season, and we haven't recorded, so I haven't been able to express this thought. And I think it's become more clear now. It does. You could say it's a little bit incomparable because it is 2 different OCs, but I think we're learning this year, and I've definitely learned Devontae Smith was so deserving of that Heisman last year because
for sure.
We are blessed still in this wide receiver room at Alabama and have tons of talent that we could just like spit out. We're going to see a lot of new guys or a lot of fresh faces, I think, even on Saturday, getting to show off their talent. But our guys get stagnant. Like when, Bryce, he keeps his eyes downfield, but like nobody was better at going and finding the football or finding his quarterback than Devontae Smith. So I want to give a huge shout out to him because a lot of our games wouldn't be as close as they were this year if we still had D Smitty out there because just none of our wide receivers are like, I don't know, it's just like when the play breaks down and they're done with their route, they just stop running, and it's been frustrating me all year. So thank you, D Smitty. And I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention.
Word. Jordan Davis for Heisman, by the way. That's one thing in there.
Yeah. You want to talk about that for a second?
We can. We can. I just feel like this year hasn't had any real standouts on the offensive end, but we're gonna force feed it to an offensive player. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why? Just give it to Jordan Davis. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
I
show me it's not a quarterback. Show me it's not Offensive Player of the Year award for once, please.
Well, I think we're kind of done with that. I think the NCAA is like, wait, y'all are still asking us to prove this? I thought we've already proved this already, that this is an offensive award. Shut up. It's like, quit asking.
Yeah, like us. They're definitely determined. They're definitely determined.
I think Jordan Davis is well, like more than deserving of it. If I had to rank him, I'll put him number 1. I think Bryce still stays at number 1, and it could be lost on Saturday. But I think I just want to make the case for Bryce. I think he does deserve it because there's no way, like, just like I said, if we had D Smitty on the team, we would, we wouldn't have the loss against Texas A&M, and these games wouldn't be as close. But if we didn't have Bryce as our QB, we'd have at least 3 or 4 losses for sure. He's bailed us out a lot. And he's impressed me a lot. Too.
He's grown into that job very well. Cause like around the A&M game, I was kind of iffy. I'm like, I don't see it yet. I'm still like, I see it at times, but I don't see it fully yet, but I think he's really grown into that job. And I think it's part of the balance of expectations, whereas like Tua like a world beater from jump. Mac Jones like a world beater when he got the job, you know. But I feel like offensive firepower is probably a little stronger for those guys too. Like judging by, like I like Messi's really good.
Jameson Williams.
Yeah, he's really good, but they haven't hit the Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle tier yet, and that's okay. That's not bad. You know what I'm saying? It just feels like a step down for Alabama. But Bryce, he stayed very composed in a lot of situations. And like I said, that team, Alabama, it's like they're a little over their heads right now. I don't know. It's like they're playing over their heads a little bit.
We are.
You know what I'm saying?
We are.
Yeah.
Like we shouldn't be here. I mean,
okay, yeah, you know, yeah.
And I think that's why that's what Saban's been preaching all year. Like nobody knows like if he's got a good team or not better than Saban. I mean,
that's a fact.
So he can compare from every spring training, every summer off program training, and everything he can compare. So Saban already knows, look, these guys right now, they're just not there yet, or they're just not it, you know? So I think it's been genuine frustration that's been mounting for years for Saban, and that's why he's like letting all this out now. But I think also too, like he just sees all the expectations being thrown on this team, and it's really unfair because it is a very young team. We lost a whole lot of talent last year. Our best defensive player is a true sophomore, and you could say he's deserving of the Heisman. Dang man, why am I forgetting his name? Help me.
I'm not, you know, I can't.
You should know this, man. Will Anderson. Yeah, Will Anderson.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's really unfair expectations on us. I had Georgia winning the national championship this year. I think I did.
I questioned it because of Kirby and Georgia's entire history since I've been alive, but you know.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody got it. If Georgia can't win it this year, bro, if they can't win it this year, they're never gonna do it at this point.
Thank you. I'm glad you said that because I was just about to flip the script and let's say, hey guys, let's stop making this Saturday or this year about, Alabama's finally going down. No, this should be, hey, UGA, poop or get off the pot, bro, because you will never have a better chance than winning this year. And if you screw it up this year, blow up the entire program or just quit. Just stop. Because you're not going to have a better chance.
There's potentially no Clemson, no Ohio State, no Oklahoma. There's no Clemson, there's no Ohio State, potentially no Alabama, no Oklahoma. Those are the teams that have been in the playoffs like every year.
Yeah.
They're always there. Some combination of the three. None of them are there.
And they have the most dominant defense ever in history.
Yes.
And
literally, yes.
Yeah. So better than
they're so good, they're not even flashy.
Miami.
They're so good, they're not even flashy. It's just 3 and outs all day. Yes. It's not even like a flashy. It's not even like a bunch of highlights. It's just you just going 3 and out, bro. Like we don't do that much. You just punt. That's all.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Look at that potential playoff with a combination of Cincinnati and Michigan, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe Oklahoma State. There's no excuse this year if they get through Saturday.
I do think that if Michigan and Georgia end up seeing each other, I think that's going to be a very interesting matchup. I'm not saying Michigan's going to win, but I would like to see. I think Josh Gaddis can draw up some schemes. I think that defense for Michigan can shut down that Georgia offense and make Stetson really uncomfortable. If they can do that with CJ Stroud, I think they can definitely do that against Stetson.
That's a great point.
And I think Michigan's offense, McNamara, their QB, Josh Gaddis, the OC, I think they could make it a really good game, and I think they do pose the biggest threat against Georgia.
Yeah, I want to the thing with this. I'll tell you why I don't want Georgia to win this year.
Yeah, go ahead. Because I think you're about to lead into another topic I wanted to get onto. So go ahead. In 2021, we've come so far in college football and football in general that I just don't want a quarterback, respectfully, on the caliber of Stetson Bennett to be rewarded. I want people thinking that's the way to win championships anymore. I don't want that anymore. I left the era. I don't want the era back. I don't want that era back. I just don't. I'm sorry. I don't want the mediocre quarterback era of college football to come back to me. Please. Yeah. I wanted it gone forever. I want the draft picks.
I'm
I'll
sorry.
actually give it to him. Now, I haven't watched that much Georgia this year, but so I didn't watch them at all last year. So when everybody was talking about Stetson Bennett, I actually did watch him a little bit.
I did too, and I was like, "This is y'all excited about this?"
Yeah, exactly. But I watched him a little bit this year, and the little bit that I did watch, I actually was impressed with him. I'm not saying like, oh, this guy was great. He was just better than I thought he was. And I don't know. He's actually a little bit more exciting. Like he can throw on the run. He can move out of the pocket pretty well. So I wouldn't say he's mediocre. And I am kind of impressed that he's been able to do this too. I don't know, like the walk on, he's like 5'11", isn't he? Something like that.
Yeah,
I mean, the dude does not look like he belongs on a football field. He is clearly the smallest dude out there. So yeah, it's just kind of impressive to me. I like watching that. It's like this dude should not be out here, but just watching him like scramble around all these guys, he's just able to get under them. Like it's kind of fun to watch. But
short quarterback scrambles always look funny. Always look more fun. I don't know why. They always look exciting. It's like look at him getting away from everybody, just being frustrating.
Yeah,
so annoying. But yeah. I feel like because Kirby still got the real 2009 Nick Saban vibes, and with where we're just gonna have Greg McElroy at quarterback and just make it work. You know, he's got that energy, and I like the new Nick Saban energy. I like we got a 5-star quarterback with the superpower. Superpowered offense. I like that energy more. I just do. I'm sorry. It's probably am I right? I won't say I'm right. It's just my personal preference. This is my preference. All right. This is my truth. That's my truth.
I'll take this Saban and this offense or scheme any day over than what we had 10 years ago or 5 years ago. But where I thought you were going with that on the Georgia thing though, why you didn't want to see them win. We're both in agreement that the two fan bases we probably hate the most in college football is like Georgia and Auburn, right?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
That's a recurring like subject that comes up between us.
Sure.
Right now, I want to give a clap, a pat on the back, a tip of the cap to Georgia fans, and I want to give a congratulations to the Auburn fans as well because there has been a shift in the power rankings. The number one most hated fan base on Levi's list is now the Auburn Tigers. So I want to give you guys a congratulations. Yes.
It's a major change.
Yes. Can you imagine just because you may this may be different for you.
Sorry.
This may be different for you. I have not seen or heard a lot coming out of this Georgia fan base this year. Especially in comparison to past years when they were successful and on the track to making it to a playoff or a national championship bid. Can you imagine how absolutely annoying and egregious and insane this Auburn Tiger fan base would be if they had the record that Georgia did right now and the defensive numbers that they have right now and Stetson Bennett, this walk-on QB. Good God, they can't shut up enough already about Bo Nix. What do you think they would do about a Stetson Bennett on their team?
Yeah, this is a good point.
They will not freaking shut up, bro, about, we took Alabama to 4 OTs. We took the number 2 team in the nation to 4 OTs. Shut up. It's a rivalry game. You blew it. It was yours to win. Shut up. Thank you, Georgia fans, for being very tolerable, being very cautiously optimistic. And I'm actually pulling for y'all a little bit this year, just because I kind of feel so bad for y'all that it's just y'all's time. And so let's just go ahead and rip that Band-Aid.
I can't imagine how Georgia fans would react if they blow this. Because I feel like they're just actually starting to I think they're just starting to actually believe a little bit. I think the way the Alabama-Auburn game went just put a little bit of faith, inject a little bit of faith into them. Like when I talk to at work, like, I don't know, I feel like we should get this Saturday. Like, it's not like they're over the top with it. It's like, I feel like we should win. Like, we should win this game Saturday, you know? Yeah. And I like that energy. This feels like they should have it. You know, they should just have it for once. Because if
for all you insufferable Tigers, but all you insufferable Tigers out there on the plains, screw y'all and shut up. Again, I'm gonna bleep out that screw y'all. That was a little harsh, but it would be so annoying, bro. I cannot wrap my mind around that concept.
Yeah, that would be bad. that would be awful. I'm imagining. I'm just getting scared thinking about it. How bad it would be.
Bro.
They'd be like, we blew out Charleston. We beat Charleston Southern 40-0.
Yeah.
Huh? How about that?
Like, we would be experiencing another toilet paper shortage crisis throughout the Southeast or in our area. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It'd be bad to be toilet paper everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's good. We have these other 2 conference championships, man. So can I declare this college football year as like no one's actually really good except for like
Georgia. I mean, I'll give it to Georgia. Yeah, they're just head and shoulders above everybody. Yeah,
it's like the definition of this season is everybody all right.
Mm-hmm.
Like we all right, you know. I don't know because you know it's so bad at Michigan. Jim Harbaugh should have got lifted on the shoulders of his team for beating Ohio State, which is like part of your job to beat Ohio State more than once every 7 years, or whatever his record was.
Yeah. I mean, Jim Harbaugh turned into Georgia for me there, where I was happy for him. I'm like, hey, you know what? Y'all do you. Y'all celebrate how y'all want to. I know y'all been waiting for this for a while. Just go ham.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was cheering for that record to get like 0-10. I want to see how long Michigan fans could go before they decide Jim Harbaugh was in the future. I want to see how bad it could get. I really did. I really want to see if it can get to 10 losses.
It probably would have too.
I feel like this was the one. This was the one. Yeah, it's like none of Michigan's there, but like the program that really bring in the numbers aren't here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or might not be here if Alabama lose Saturday, they're gone. You don't have Ohio State, you don't have Oklahoma. You got Oklahoma's cousin. His less successful, more issue having cousin. You got, you know,
you got poverty cousin.
Pretty much. You got Cincinnati in there, which is like, you know, my problem with people who like Cincinnati doesn't deserve to be there because they'll get blown out. I'm like, what 4 seed doesn't get blown out? Yeah, they all get smoked. Yeah. Like, let them go up there and get smoked like everybody else. It's no big deal. We've seen a lot of Power 5 programs be at the 4 seed and get ran over.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Alabama's nicer to them. Alabama just respectfully blows them out.
Yeah,
like
we start running the ball in the third quarter.
Yeah, like same plays 4 seed. Like we'll get to 24. We'll call it a game.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. You got the 24 on Michigan State. You got the 24 on Washington. Like we're good. It was the second half of just nothing. Like let's let them live. Let them live. You know, like they just get respectfully blown out. It's why they get smoked. It just depends. Like, 4 seeds never matter. So just let Cincinnati get in there, get their little shine if they get through Saturday. Let them get their little shine. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we could have Notre Dame in there, which would be really funny. I think my favorite part of Brian Kelly's speech is that y'all deserve to be in the college football playoff.
Yes. Yeah. I'm actually pulling for Notre Dame to make it. So, and I know for them that, I know Alabama has to lose, which I'm anticipating on that for them to make it. But yes, I would love that storyline of them, winning it.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I want to see, you know, the conference championship game weekend is strange because we have a Wake Forest at Pittsburgh game in the ACC championship, which is like, can they play that Friday at like 12 p.m. on Friday? Just to get that, because I think that's like because the ACC is always in the 8 o'clock spot, and who wants to watch that? No, you trying to watch that?
No.
Okay.
But do I ever really watch the ACC championship? No.
That's a good point.
I mean, when was the last time they had a good matchup in the ACC championship?
Hey, Clemson and Duke was a classic.
Was it? I don't remember that.
No, it wasn't a classic.
Yeah, I think so.
I just made that up.
Hey, do you want to filibuster or do you want me to pause this for a second? I gotta pee.
Yeah, I got you. I think
Are you gonna filibuster?
I'll let you know. I'll let you know if I run out of ideas.
All right, bet.
I'll tell you when to pause. Yeah. These conference championship games are I am so unintrigued by half of the schedule. Cincinnati, Houston sounds fun just because, you know, the AAC can get fun sometimes. Michigan, Iowa. What's your over under for Michigan, Iowa, y'all? I feel like 17 points might be asking for a lot. And I mean 17 points total. Like that might be asking for way too much from that game. It really might be just a big request. Oklahoma State and Baylor. Oklahoma State blowing their perfect chance to make the playoff would just be such an Oklahoma State thing to do. You know, you're finally here. You beat Oklahoma, which rarely happens. Like like if they manage to not win that game Saturday and lose to Baylor, and then they're not in the playoff, and the Big 12 that playoff team again, like that would just be just a chef's kiss on the Big 12 as it prepares to die very soon. Oregon, Utah Friday night. The Pac-12 championship is I think the Friday night spot for the Pac-12 championship always adds something to it for me. I don't know why, but I like the Friday night. I like a little bit of Friday football there with the Pac-12. They're also not going to be a playoff again one more time, and he's back. Yes. I was just run through the championship. No, not really. I did ask how many points do you think will be scored in Michigan? I said I don't think 17 points will be scored in Michigan, Iowa, when I meant 17 points total.
Ooh, I think more points will be scored than that.
So I was not scoring them. Iowa doesn't score points.
That's I don't have them scoring. I got Michigan getting like
points.
24.
Okay, that's
24.
Nice. But I feel like every time I see Iowa in the championship game, it's some terrible like energy. It's just awful.
Yeah. It's
like a 7-0 game. And they may have scored. They had like a 90-yard drive to end it, where they threw the ball one time, and it was a screen pass, and then the rest was just runs up the middle or something.
You could almost compare the energy to a children's hospital. Yeah.
All right.
I'll cut that. Bad comparison. Bad joke.
I didn't know I had no idea what to do with that. I didn't know what to do with that.
After I said that, I was like, I could have probably said that better, like funnier. I was like,
you just delivered it like that. Yeah, you just dropped it like, oh wait. I will say, you know what, Gus Johnson's calling that game, so that helps.
Oh yeah, that does.
You know, he can make anything exciting. The punt.
Yeah.
Oh, he put it 20 yards. Like it'd be real intriguing. The punt's gonna be real exciting.
Yeah, he gets so overhyped, they miss key details of the game that's going on.
Oh, you're not getting real analysis of this game.
No.
You're not getting anything.
Not with any of that crew.
No, it's gonna be like it's yelling and excitement. It's like, all right, that works. That fits. Yeah, it's real Charlotte Hornets broadcast energy.
Yes.
You know, with less homerism, but you know, it counts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did say if Oklahoma State manages to not win this game and miss the playoff, that would just be the chef's kiss on the death of the Big 12.
Yes.
Like, that would just to not get in my playoff team. That would just this beautiful chef's kiss.
If I were the Big 12, I'd be calling up Scott Frost right now. Be like, hey, you still trying to get out? I'm trying to come back. I mean, the Big 12's got to do something, and they don't seem to really care about existing. So
no, they really don't. They really seem to just be like, you know, we'll figure it out. 7 teams, just 7 teams, we'll make it work.
It's like every time one of their schools tells them like, hey, we're thinking about leaving the conference. It's like, oh, wait, no, please don't go.
Yeah, don't go.
Like,
don't go.
No.
We have chips. We have chips. Would you like chips?
Yeah.
What kind of chips would you like? Like, they just offer the bare minimum.
Yeah.
To the franchise.
It's like, hey man, I got these rodeo tickets. I can get you for free.
But, this could be a year that the group of 5 schools just dominate the New Year's Day bowl games.
Yeah.
Like Pittsburgh, Wake Forest, and the Orange Bowl. You know, they're beatable. It's a winnable game for a group of 5. You know what I'm saying? Baylor, Oklahoma, if Baylor wins, Baylor in the Cotton Bowl, you can sneak that. You can workshop that. No, Alabama, non championship bowl game. Alabama is.
Bro, we don't play bowl games, bro. We ain't here for your bowl trophies.
The only one I feel like Alabama tries in is the Capital One Bowl. For some reason.
Yeah.
They get real motivated for that one.
I don't know what it is there. It just may be the warm weather or the fact that they just give us like teams that shouldn't even be on the same field with us.
Yeah, and they get ran off the building, you know.
Yeah.
But Sugar Bowl, Alabama, you know,
that's
not the Alabama. That's not the real Alabama.
No.
we brought a lot of Big 12 schools back just off beating them. Thought a lot of things were about to change. We thought Texas was back the other year when they beat Georgia.
Yeah, and Nick calls that charity work. That's what we do for the Big 12. Let them feel good about themselves.
Are the Pac-12 with Utah? Are they in the Pac-12 yet? Were they? Were they in the Pac-12 then? No, they weren't. That's
a good. I don't think they were. No.
Yeah, there's a generation of kids that don't know Utah wasn't always in the Pac-12, and that depresses me.
That was Urban Meyer, Utah.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Urban
when they were in the
Utah.
Pac-12. Yeah. That's crazy. Louisville wasn't in the ACC when they beat Florida that year.
Ooh.
They got Teddy Bridgewater drafted. Charlie Strong, Louisville.
Were they in the American?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Something.
Or
they
did
were
the
in
Big
something.
East still live?
No, it may have been Big East. The Big East still was I forgot the Big East was a conference.
Yeah.
For football. They had football teams in there.
Yeah. Do they even
really
have football anymore? Did they go get some other schools for football?
I think it's exclusively a basketball conference.
It's a good basketball conference.
Yeah, I think all they moved to the AAC. I think is what happened. I believe that's what went down. But yeah, I think that's how that went. But yeah, the Group 5 they could do some things this year. Make things happen. It'd be fun. It'd be interesting.
Yeah,
see how many lives we can tell. So outside of Georgia, Alabama, are you excited for these other games? Like, you gonna tune in for any of the other
ones? No, I don't care.
I might watch Oregon and Utah tomorrow night.
Oh yeah,
I'll bet on that. I don't know the hits.
Yeah,
that might be the one I'll watch. I'll probably watch a half of Oklahoma State and Baylor because it sounds like it can get kind of chaotic.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch a little bit of Michigan for sure, just to see if that was a fluke last week. See what kind of energy they're bringing in.
Yeah, I'll turn into the fourth quarter because I can't handle too much Big Ten Iowa football. It just they make everybody play like them, and I can't deal with it.
Yeah,
I can't do too much of that.
That's true.
But yeah, Georgia, Alabama. Do you expect? I mean, I don't think anyone really expects Alabama to get blown out. Like, Alabama's gonna fight, but do you think? How close do you think the game is? The spread is 6.5, I think.
Yeah. So if I were putting money on this, I'm taking Georgia on the spread too. I think it's going to be at least 2 scores, but I can really see it us getting blown out. I mean, I really can, and that's just with our struggles at the offensive line. I mean, our weakest point of our team is going up against the strongest front ever in the history of college football.
Yeah.
So they can just pretty much eat our lunch all night. Bryce Young isn't that tall, so it's going to be hard to see over those 6'9" defensive linemen that Georgia has. So I think it can get really ugly really quick. And I think it's a mix between it's Alabama and it's Georgia. So we know what Alabama can do, and we know what Georgia usually does in these moments. But I think Georgia is going to be super motivated. Now I'll say this, I think it's going to be closer than what I thought it was going to be. If you would have asked me a week ago before the Iron Bowl, even though the Iron Bowl for everybody was oh, this exposed Alabama right here. To me, I was oh, we're actually a little bit better than I thought we were, or we're actually, I don't know, that really impressed me that we were able to still, we had a very dominant defensive performance. And we really just kept beating ourselves, and yet we were still able to win. So if you pretty much beat yourself up all game, and kind of the refs aren't helping you out either, and you can still pull that off. And I think it's a good moral boost for Alabama going in. I say all that to say I'd still take out Georgia on the spread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you, because it feels like, I was talking at work, it feels like Alabama's getting a lot of credit, but it's reputation based, which is an earned reputation.
Yeah.
But just looking at the individual year, it's they've struggled in spots that have been weird. That Arkansas game was weird.
Yeah.
It's it was okay, they handled Arkansas, then they weren't handling Arkansas anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the Auburn game was interesting, but they couldn't get offense going for half the game. And then Jalen Hurts decided to copy their formula on Sunday. That was it was nice of him. Just let Nick Saban not feel alone.
Yeah.
On Sunday. Except then Jalen Rieger showed up. I'm sorry, I'm getting off into other things. Hate you, Jalen Rieger. I'm sorry, I'm back. Had to get that out. Whew, okay, I'm good. But it does feel like a lot of it's reputation based for Alabama this year, and why people are giving them a chance, and reputation based for Georgia, why people don't believe Georgia can do it. And I understand both sides of it, because it's hard to. I can't. I think Georgia has the edge. I can't say they're gonna get. Seeing Alabama get blown out just doesn't register in my mind. I feel like they'll compete somehow, right? But realistically, they should kind of get smoked.
Mm-hmm.
They should kind of get smoked out here Saturday.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to just see that happening. I feel like, and part of me does wonder if the Saban and Kirby matchup is based around them knowing each other so well, where they can just scheme the other one a little bit, and it might come down to mistakes or talent. If it comes down to talent, Georgia's gonna have it just because their defense is just too good. If it comes down to mistakes, say I think Nick Saban's gonna have the edge in that because Kirby's been known to do stupid things.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be the first time he did something stupid. So but yeah, I think that's really what it comes down to. That's what it seemed to come out to with the other years with these two guys. Like even when we didn't think Georgia had the offensive firepower to match up. Like who's the quarterback they had the other year? Fromm.
Yeah.
Had his best looking games as a quarterback against Alabama. Like who is this? This isn't the same person, you know? Like they seem to have a way to know each other and know what the other guy wants, and then know the weaknesses of each other because they've been around each other so long. So I think that coaching matchup, if it's able to come down to that over talent, I'm going to give that as Alabama. But I think it's hard for me to just pick against flat out talent and one of the best defenses we've ever seen. So I have to edge Georgia here. I have to.
Yeah.
I think they can end up winning. I think it'll be close, but I think the fourth quarter they might, go about 10, and then it's just a late 10-point lead, and it'll just be too much for Alabama to overcome.
Yeah,
something like that, maybe. Yeah.
To expound on
or a third quarter stretch, maybe a third quarter stretch that kind of puts it out of reach. I'll say that.
Okay. I would say to expound on like the scenarios for me, how I'm thinking. So if Georgia pulls off a blowout, it's not because their offense kept driving on Alabama and was successful on a lot of their possessions. It's because the Georgia defense came in, got a couple of pick sixes, kept Alabama deep inside their own territory, and just pretty much stayed around. Like, I mean, I could see Georgia starting a lot of their possessions out like right around midfield, getting excellent field position all day, just field goal, touchdown, and then help with some defensive turnovers, maybe a special teams block punt too. So that's the only way I see them getting a blowout. Now for Alabama to win or keep it really close, we're fine. It seems like our defense is finally there. And it took way too freaking long, but I think Will Anderson and them, they're going to be a problem. And this is definitely going to be the best defense that Georgia has seen. So I mean, Alabama's going to just have to capitalize in every way they can, and they're definitely going to have to force a lot of turnovers for Georgia, which is something that Georgia hasn't done all year. They've been very safe with the ball. But getting into how Kirby and Saban scheme up against each other, you're correct on that, and that's how Georgia was almost able to beat Alabama. It was pretty much like Alabama's secondary that year was our weakest link. So, especially when it came to us sitting back in zone coverage. So what did Kirby do? My man just slanted them to death. Like he just threw slant out. Like, and so I kind of anticipate that. But I'm going to give some of my keys. I think what Alabama has to do to win. Number one, if we're going to be successful on offense, we have to utilize the 2-minute drill. We got to start out the game running the 2-minute drill. I want to see hurry up offense, like at least 50% of the possessions, because that's where Bryce Young is best. And I think like that's where our pretty much our best plays are like in these 2-minute drills, it seems. And then we're going to have to utilize like weapons we haven't used all year. Like I think our best wide receiver on our team hasn't even played yet this year, which is Ajayi Hall. I don't know why he hasn't played yet. It's been huge speculation since the season has started as to why. It's discipline issues. I don't know. Nick Saban hasn't really expounded upon it, but if we really want to go after it and put our morals to the side with whatever he did, put Ajayi out there, give us a spark. And we got other guys like I go down the list who are like that, who just haven't seen field time. And then like my third key and final key is keep Stetson Bennett like in the pocket. And that's kind of hard to do when our best is to rush like from the weak side with the edge rushing with Will Anderson, but I'm using Will Anderson as a spy. I'm not even rushing that much. I'm using my man as a spy. Keep your eyes on Stetson Bennett. And do not let that man get outside of the pocket, because we're good at batting down balls too. Our defensive line is. We're really big. It's hard for him to see over them. And he's not the most accurate passer. So I'm keeping Stetson Bennett contained, and I'm just making him throw the ball over us. Yeah. And that was Levi's 3 keys.
I like it. I think it'd be victory. Fun. Let's get it. I think Saturday's gonna be fun, man. More I think it's gonna be an enjoyable game. The SEC championships always, I mean, it's not always a good game, but lately it's had some decent runs.
I mean, Georgia,
Alabama,
Georgia haven't
not played it. Yeah, them They played a classic just about every time they played in the modern era.
Except for regular season, the past 2 regular season games.
Yeah, regular season games are bad.
Blown through them.
Yeah, but when it comes to the playoff championship time, it gets lit. It gets real lit for everybody. There's been a lot of heartbreak on one side, but
where would you rank the Georgia Alabama national championship game?
In the CFP era, it's probably in the playoff era. It's probably I still have it right behind the Clemson Alabama game, the Deshaun Watson one.
That one.
Yeah,
I think that the Alabama one, the one we won, was better than that. That was Kenyon Drake having to return a kickoff all the way. A lot of wild plays happened in that game.
It did. A game-winning drive is always going to get some credit, though. The game-winning drive with a few seconds left.
Yeah.
They had. I think that probably is why I edge it. But both those games were crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because Alabama had 2 crazy games and lost in the other ones. That was it.
Yeah, because we blew them out in like a semifinal game, and then they blew us out in that national, which I still can't wrap my mind around the fact that was a blowout in that national championship
game. What happened in that game? Bro, that game was still confusing to me.
I was texting you with 5 minutes left in the 4th, and I was like, I think we still have a chance.
That game was wild. I was watching like, yo, they really they really beating the brakes off them, because it started off like everybody was throwing interceptions, like Tua threw a pick, Trevor threw a pick.
Yeah,
it's like okay, and then suddenly the game was over. I'm like, what just happened?
The real reason why we got blew out was because like Tua was playing on one leg in that game, and we couldn't play Jalen because Jalen had just had surgery. So we just we're like, hey Tua, it's you, man, go do your best.
Right. Shout out to Georgia losing to both quarterbacks.
Yeah,
in different ways. Shout out to them for that. Imagine you got Jalen benched and off the bench at the same time. Impressive. It's a really impressive strategy. I'm sorry, Georgia. Yeah, you know what, man? I'm sorry, Georgia. You got Saturday. Maybe it's your time. It better be, because Lord knows.
I think it is. I think the Braves pulled the cap off. They took the top off the net for us, man. We're fine.
Did anybody tell the Falcons? Anybody let the Falcons know?
Nope.
Okay. I was
well, they'll never know.
Yeah, this is my thing, right? I was thinking that I was saying that I said Georgia needs this. Georgia fans need this, because if you're a Georgia fan, you're probably a Falcons fan, and you might not see this for another 10, 12 years, the way the Falcons are looking right now. Yeah. Matt Ryan might still be your quarterback with just a bunch of offensive weapons that he can't get the ball to in the offensive line. But he'll have no O-line, but he'll have like 3 Hall of Fame receivers. Yeah. And Kyle Pitts will still be out there. I don't know.
You want to hear my new name for Matt Ryan? It just randomly popped in my head like 2 days ago.
Talk to me.
Matt Ramen.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Nah.
I see what you did there. Yeah. Yeah. What's understood need to be said.
We're having noodles.
Yo, there's one thing I noticed with him, bro. It's like, because his arm's never been the strongest.
Yeah.
But Lord knows it looks bad.
It's bad, bro. It's bad. Like, because my guy's having to anticipate his wide receivers. Like, he has to have the quickest anticipation time out of any QBs in the league right now. Yes. Because he's got to like get it there. Like, he's got to start his throwing as soon as our receiver's off the line, just so he can float it up there and get it to him on time.
Exactly. It's I'm like, because I was watching earlier. I'm like, is arm getting weaker? Because he can't afford that. Matt can't afford a weaker arm at all.
No.
Out routes were always suspect with him, but now it's like out routes. Like, oh no, don't just get out playbook, bro.
We don't even have. Yeah, I don't even think an out route exists in the.
They got rid of them. They're like, nah, those are done for you, Matt. We're not doing those anymore. Those are out the playbook.
Nope.
It's not Drew Brees bad, but it's not good.
Oh yeah.
The end of Drew Brees was, Lord have mercy. Yeah, he couldn't even do checkdowns at that point.
Yeah, no, he said it physically pained him to throw the ball. Isn't that
the Bucks? Right, the Bucks are out there like throw him on 3 yards. I bet bitch can't throw him on 3 yards.
Yeah,
bitch can't do it. And he was like, I can't. You win the bet.
It made Michael Thomas quit football. we haven't seen that guy since.
We really haven't. Speaking of football, I don't know if you saw the news today that Antonio Brown and his cohorts were suspended today.
Yeah, bro, for 3 games.
Yeah. I feel like I feel like if if this is the case, because I'm assuming it confirms that he had a falsified vaccine card. That's what I'm assuming they're confirming.
That's what I'm assuming too. Yeah.
That's only 3 games. Only 3. That's it.
Oh.
It's only a 3-game suspension.
I mean, I didn't think it'd be 3 because I mean, what Aaron got 1.
Isn't that literal fraud? I don't think Aaron got a vaccine card. Aaron was just skirting the protocols in public.
Okay, I didn't think about that. How that actually is like probably federal fraud. Or something.
Isn't that? Yeah, and this is like a legal issue. Well, they're in Florida, so probably not.
Yeah,
they're in Florida, so maybe not.
Because you can't. Yeah. I don't think you can. Legally make them not in Florida at least.
Yeah, no, you can't legally make anybody do anything in Florida except not have a baby. So I do want to give a shout out back to our old days for a second. I have a special Not the Expert of the Week. I have to give it out. It pains me to do this as a Last Chance U veteran watcher. John Franklin III was also suspended, and because he was with Antonio Brown on this nonsense.
I forgot John Franklin was on that team.
That's my point. You are not good enough to have a fake vaccine card. John Franklin, you're not. You don't prove enough value for that. I'm sorry. You have to have a real vaccine, sir. You're not valuable enough for a fake vaccine card. You let the man who froze his feet talk you into this. Mm-hmm. And I just have, John, you are not the expert of the week. You don't, you have to be better. You gotta know your value, bro. You really do. You really gotta know your value, you know? And this is one case where he didn't understand his value. It's not valuable enough for that, dog. 3 people in there that were caught. You will be the one that gets cut first. I guarantee you that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Like Brady, like Bruce Arians might want to cut Brady, and Brady will be like, hey, I understand, but I'm gonna take care of this at home. Yeah. All right. he gets no avocado ice cream for a week.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what we're gonna deal with this. All right. That's what we're gonna do here.
Bedtime has moved to 7:00 now instead of 8. All right, Antonio, I better not see you downstairs past 7:00.
That Tom Brady about to have real in college, he's about to have real we're dealing with this matter internally energy.
Yeah.
It's really about to happen here. It's gonna be absolutely nothing happening, but he's gonna tell us it's gonna be internal, so we can't do anything about it. He's gonna tell Bruce to be internal, so we can't do anything about it.
So can we end this pod on my final ask the hater question?
Absolutely.
Titus, tell me why everybody is overhyping Mac Jones and why the Patriots actually should have kept Cam Newton.
I would say they should have kept Cam.
Yeah, I know. I just threw that in there. Yeah. But tell me,
Max, I can't defend Cam at 5-21, dog. This is not safe Cam. 5-21, bro. I can't say a word for Cam. I like him being back in Carolina. It's a real cool story, but I can't say anything. Mac, I feel like Mac was really in the coaching wise, he was in the best situation possible because you got Bill. I feel
so bad for my boy because he's never ever gonna get rid of the stigma of being a system QB going from Alabama really straight into the Patriots, and
it didn't help.
Yeah, and it really sucks because like the dude's freaking good. Like, and I'm not saying he would be doing like what Joe Burrow's doing with Cincinnati. Yeah. He's a very good quarterback.
He's been perfectly fine there, and it's been a weird year in the NFL, and they're in first place. They're doing good.
Yeah.
I do. What was I gonna say? I got confused. I just lost my train of thought for a second. I'm sorry.
Oh, wait. Let me throw in another fact though. Even though he is still a part of the system,
I found it, but I remember it. But go ahead.
Even though he's still as part of a great system, until like maybe the past 2 weeks, the performance from his wide receivers were absolute trash. So he was still being able to hit his guys in the freaking face mask and chest. They weren't catching it, but so hey, we knew he could still do stuff without an elite wide receiver core.
I will say I feel like they're trying to find ways to praise him, and it's kind of like I saw some earlier this week where like, oh yeah, he throws the Patriots feel like he throws the most catchable ball in football. Like he throws the softest ball in football. That's why they have such a high catch rate. Like, it's just easily catchable for the receivers. Like it's like pillows. I'm like, why are we just making up ways to give this dude credit, bro? Like this is when I get annoyed. Like just let him be good. I want to be like, oh, you know what? I was wrong. He's good, but he's better than I thought he would be. He is better than I thought he'd be. I got to give him that much.
All right, thank you, because
Yeah,
I know he is outperforming what you expected from him.
He truly is. He truly is. So yeah, I got to give him that much.
And also too, I think when the Patriots are saying all that, I don't think they're talking to any of us. All that's for Tom Brady.
Yeah,
hey, that's all that is for Tom Brady.
Shout out to Belichick though, because people ready to throw Belichick away early in the year. It was like, y'all don't know who I am. Y'all understand who I am? I do this. So shout out to them for that.
Yeah. Also, shout out to the shout out to Belichick in that freaking white undershirt and the jacket. What a look.
He's that man. People get mad at the super extravagant looks, but I hate the bummy looks just as much.
I think a lot more people hate the bummy look.
Yeah,
I think a lot more people hate the bummy look.
Like I know Cam be wearing foxtails and stuff, and that may be a lot with big hats, but just somewhere in the middle is okay.
Yeah,
we don't have to. We don't have to. I'm actually extremes.
I'm okay with it. Like if Bill Belichick wasn't Bill Belichick, I would not be okay with it. But the fact that this guy is the best, head coach and the most winningest, and the guy doesn't know how to dress himself, it makes it all the more better.
Winning does fix everything. It really does. I think the only the NFL is weird this year. I feel like the Ravens have no business being good, and this is somehow going to lead to them getting smoked in the playoffs because they're not a good team. Yeah, and it's somehow going to be all Lamar Jackson's fault, and that's just going to frustrate me for an entire year because I know that's what I see it coming, bro. I see it coming. I just see it in the future.
Well, they haven't gotten him any freaking help, so it's just going to be that until they do. So
honestly, and half the team is injured. They were supposed to be terrible before the year started. Because they lost. Remember, they lost like Marlon Humphrey and the starting running back the same day, the torn ACLs in the same practice.
Oh yeah, that's right. Humphrey is out.
Yeah. I think Dobbins and Humphrey got hurt in the same practice. Like they both tore an ACL in the same practice, which I might have choked one of my medical professionals out. Like, why did this happen? Whoever made the field, whoever did turf that day, I don't know. Somebody got to pay. I don't know who. Somebody. We taking your ACL. We giving me your ACL. Yeah. You going through surgery. How about that? Y'all rehabbing together. But yeah,
I gotta look this up now though, because I swear I thought I saw Humphrey playing.
Nah, I think it was Humphrey. I wasn't a linebacker. I thought it was Marlon Humphrey.
Yeah, Marlon Humphrey playing, bro.
Are you sure?
Yeah. He played against the Browns. He had 8 combined tackles.
It was another cornerback. They lost somebody. They lost let me just look at Ravens torn ACLs. That should help. It was so many. Marcus Peters. It was Marcus Peters.
Okay.
That's why I got mixed up at. Marcus Peters tore his ACL. And JK. That was the first 2 results from Marcus Peters and JK Dobbins, by the way. It was the first 2 results.
And they don't have Patrick Ricard, MVP.
Yeah, they're missing a lot of people, bro. They got hurt in the preseason. A lot of them got hurt before the season started.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, okay, the Ravens should be terrible this year. And then somehow they're like off the foot of the GOAT. They're like out here in the playoffs somehow, winning games.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, so they lost JK, Justice Hill, and Gus Edwards out the backfield.
Yeah. That's why they had to go get. That's why they had the Le'Veon Bell, Devonta Freeman duo. Yeah. At one point, it's like, what? How'd y'all do this? But yeah, shout out to them, man.
Yeah, shout out
to them. But yeah, so I think we can wrap on that. I think that's all I got. You know what I'm saying? This was a good show. I'm glad we got the game back together. This had the good energy.
Yes, exactly. This is just the little snowball. We're back in it now.
That's a fact.
Get it rolling.
Soon we'll be having a very nuanced discussion about a certain quarterback.
Oh yeah.
We both have mixed feelings on. Well, I think I have more mixed feelings than you do. You just kind of hate him. I have kind of mixed feelings.
Oh no. I love Baker Mayfield, not because I think he's a good quarterback or anything. I just love I love the whole scenario of Baker Mayfield. I love that Baker Mayfield. This guy wants to shut up all his haters. He can't shut up. He's always got something to say. And he just keeps shooting himself in the foot.
He has the psychotic energy of an all-time great. He does.
Yes, he does.
Like all-time greats have psychotic energy, and he has it because he's Mr. I have a chip on my shoulder. You were the number 1 pick.
Yes. No,
half your chip has to disappear.
When I text you after that game, that first game they had without OBJ,
no one plays better in a shut the hater up situation than Baker
yeah,
Mayfield.
I said
he lives for that, bro.
Nobody is better in a prove it game than
he
Baker
lives
Mayfield.
for that, bro. He lives for a prove it game.
Yeah,
he really does. If they can make every game a prove it game, if they can make up fake, if they can get deep fakes of like just pundits talking bad about Baker every week.
Yeah,
it would make the media sessions really weird because he would think somebody said something that he didn't say, but he just go out there on a prove it energy every week, and then he just be trying to throw for 300 yards. He might win MVP.
Well, I think we kind of contradicted your point though, saying that he has I think Baker has the mindset or the psychology of a almost superstar, and in order to be a superstar, you gotta have Michael Jordan, where he's not at the point yet where he's got voices in his head over and over telling him
the real voices. He's mad at the real voices.
Yes, exactly. He hasn't created the fake voices yet. Once we get to the fake voices, or the voices from 20 years ago that are still just as loud as they were back then, that's when we'll get true prime Baker Mayfield. Yeah,
that makes sense. That actually adds up. But yeah, we're gonna have a good discussion about him because I actually think it's a very interesting situation that the Browns have themselves in.
Yes.
It's only the Browns would be in this situation, by the way. I don't want to give too much away because I feel like it'll spoil that whenever we do this, which will probably be, I don't know, we'll schedule it maybe next week. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get it done. But yeah, thank y'all for listening, paying attention. I am Titus, that's Levi. We didn't intro, we just got right to the nonsense.
I like that. I think we just need to start doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too. We'll intro ourselves at the end.
Exactly.
Yeah. This has been Not the Experts. Y'all have a beautiful weekend. Enjoy the conference championship games. And there's the GoFundMe page for the next year's conference championship. If you want to send us to it, you can just, send us some money.
Yes.
Because Lord knows, every time I'll be like, I want to go, I look at the tickets and I'll be like,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to get credentialed.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, thank y'all. We out.
Peace.